Did you know that every year 85 million tons of paper waste are generated, with paper accounting for 33% of municipal solid waste and 26% ends up in landfills? 1 ton of paper waste recycled saves nearly 1400 liters of oil, 26,500 liters of water, and 17 trees in total. Namaste people! Welcome to the show Get Set Green Season 2. I'm your host Pooja Arvi. This season has me very excited and I'm looking forward to sharing many inspiring stories of such eco entrepreneurs. In today's episode, we will learn how a Dharwad lecturer created an innovative business out of waste paper to make pencils. Let's welcome Aparna to the show.
Thank you so much. It's my privilege, and I'm honored to be as a part of your show, and I'm privileged to share my thoughts
I'm
with you. Thank you.
yeah. Thank you, ma'am. We are truly humbled to have you as well. So, yeah,
Thank you.
like Eila Enterprises, like what was the main agenda? Like how exactly it started? Can you please tell us, some briefly about it?
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
As you likely said, that there are the newspapers that get generated adds up to landfills, and then it is the major part that is being contributed to waste management.
Hmm?
And then, as you all know, we waste management is come up with a different is come up with a idea that how we can reduce this waste, how we can reduce the landfills that are getting filled up with such unwanted things. You also gave us the statistics that how so many tons of newspapers are getting waste and added up to a landfill.
Yeah.
So all these things, you see that they add up to the climatic changes.
Hmm.
And as we all know, we are all facing climate changes throughout the globe.
Yeah.
So the adversity in the climate changes adds up to melting of snow, and then eventually we have a lot of rains, and then this contributes to flood, and the series goes on. So we have all experienced it, and within these 3 years or so, we have experienced it in such a way globally that each one of us have faced the adversities in climate. So these were some of the things that I always used to ponder upon, and then to reduce these landfills waste into landfills, and then the cutting down of trees. We need we I had always wanted to do something to the society and towards the environment also. So all these things I used to think on these lines, and then I once I came upon a thought that in I we have to not only plant more trees, but we also need to save the trees that are already there.
Yeah.
So this made me think in these lines, and then I got up with this idea, and this was a process actually that I took, and then I went on doing it stepwise, and so I thought in these lines and came up with a new product. This is how it all started.
Okay, that sounds really, fantastic because having
Yes,
an idea and working
thank you.
about
Yes,
it is like really something which you have to put lots of effort in because each and everyone, I believe that has their own ideas and ideologies. What differs
yes,
with others is that when are you gonna put it into action or like are you just gonna thinking like you keep in that state planning state like the time will come when you are like no more executing that and someone else is doing that, so that makes
yes,
the
yes,
difference I feel here. And also, yeah, like this was a great
yes,
idea that you started. So can you
yes,
briefly tell us one more thing, like how do you collect the waste newspapers and how exactly do you go about it?
yes, sure. So as you said, that implementing the ideas into thoughts and then putting it into action, it needs a great effort,
Yeah.
and it took a lot of time. And then it took a lot of time, and then there were failures and all these things.
Hmm?
So these are all the hurdles that each one of us have to face if we want to do something new, or if we want to implement the ideas into actions.
Yeah.
So I had the courage to dream and then put it to action. So this is all how it all started about.
Hmm.
Mm, then took actually it was a process that started and ended up. It took me nearly 2 years to make this idea into a product, and this is how I started doing it. And then I took it. I took each step at a time, and eventually I was successful in bringing out the product.
Okay. That's great, actually. Like having said that, you spent nearly 2 years to make it into,
Yes,
fruitful product out of it. So that
yes,
needs a lot of efforts and energy. And also, like, how did you come up with the idea of adding seeds? Because now that you are working on a product which was, like to
yes,
make it into a proper pencil, workable, feasible pencil. So how did you
yes.
have this idea? Like, did someone ask you, like from the consumer point of view, did they raise their request? Or like was it that you wanted to do it on your own? How exactly do
No,
you do that?
no. Actually, the first thing what I did was making use of the old newspapers into a pencil that had the same strength, and which served the same purpose of a pencil. So that was the first process what I did, and then we had to make it hard and then bring it into a product. That was the first stage where I completed. Then later on, I went a step further to add seeds to the end of the tip, so that as the child finishes writing it, he can also plant it and have the feel that he is going to plant a tree, a new plant, so that he has an awareness, that creates an awareness in the young mind, so that they should not only use recycled products, but also they can plant a new plant. So that's how I started working upon it and came up with that idea.
That's really nice. Actually, like having said that, once the pencil is completing its use term, it has to be
Yes.
thrown away. So why not make it into an, much more meaningful kind of a thing? That really, yeah, is a nice idea. I can say a good innovation as well. And also,
Yes, yes,
what
thank you.
kind of seeds do you like usually insert into the pencil, or like do you have certain things, or like do you just randomly choose the seeds which are available as and when, like when you are the manufacturing process?
No, actually, they can be customized also. We can have a customized seats according to the customer's requirement. But as of now, there are 20 different seeds what we have chosen. Seeds that such seeds, those which can be planted in pots, so that when the child or the person who uses it need not go in search of a land, so that the pot is readily available at each person's house, so that they can just put it into a pot, and then they can also have a feel that the new plant is growing out of that seed. So these are some common seeds that have been put, like for example, some seeds like tulsi, some
Mm-hmm.
flowering seeds,
Mm-hmm.
and then some vegetables. So these are the different categories of some 20 seeds have been incorporated, and in each box we are putting different 10 different seeds. So that is how it is all going about.
Okay, okay, yeah, got it then. Then also, like, since you started this journey, like, can you please
Okay.
tell us approximate figure of how much of paper waste did you save into, going into the landfills?
Yeah, we saved up. We have produced and distributed about more than 70,000 pencils right now. So after the regular start of because the schools and all were closed, and then from the academic year, right, this year
Yeah,
itself, we
yeah.
have distributed about 70,000 pencils,
Hmm.
and roughly we have mm, um, 40,000 of, I'm sorry, 40 tons of newspaper waste that would have otherwise gone to the landfill have been used. And then there are so you can imagine that there are more than 70,000 plants that have been seeds that have been distributed also at the same time.
Wow, the number is not
Yeah.
quite, it's a quite a big number actually.
Yes, yes, yes,
70,000 is
yes,
not an easy number. And also,
yes.
that many amount of plant seeds have been
I
distributed.
have.
Kudos to you
Yes.
and your team.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Also, can you please let us, take through like how the processing of this manufacturing of pencils goes on?
Yeah, sure. See, it has an environmentally friendly approach, which focuses on that is, you're reducing the cutting down of trees, as you can make out, and then we are recycling the newspapers that would otherwise go to the landfill, and then we are using a completely new product, as you can see. So our main raw material will be the old newspapers. So a new product will be formed out of these old newspapers. So this technology is a semi-automatic technology that we have been using. It is locally built, and then women have been employed in this the whole system of my setup. So rural women have been employed, and then we are the at the initial stages it is done manually. Later on it goes into the machine, and then it dries, and then the finished products comes out of it. So there is actually a technology, a semi automatic technology also built in along with this product.
Okay. Yeah, like
Yeah,
a
and then
proper.
we are in also yes, and then we are right now we are also in the stage of designing a completely new technology, which will be coming up very shortly.
Hmm.
And then we are also planning to implement this setup throughout the country with
Hmm.
the help of the women entrepreneurship cell
Hmm.
from the government of Karnataka, and we want to set this technology in each state, so
Hmm.
that the newspapers that can be collected, because otherwise if I go into collecting the old newspapers, I actually went in for asking donations of getting the old newspapers. So
Hmm.
then it was a bit difficult for me because of the expenses that were occurring to get the newspapers from far off places. So if we implement this at different levels, so that the newspapers will be collected there itself, and then a product can be made and then distributed at the same stage, it would become easier. So we are in that process.
Oh, that sounds, really
Yes,
interesting. And also, like, you have very ambitious plan, I can say, if we
yes, yes,
span it in
yes,
a large scale, and if you,
yes,
decentralize somehow to collect the all the
yes,
newspapers around from the state, then I guess this is
yes,
going
that
to be a big thing. And I would
yes,
really be happy to see you, in the coming days to see this happen. I'm really excited as well to see.
yes. Thank you so much. Yes, we are right now in that process. I hope it turns out well.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'm really
Yes,
happy. Aparna, I hope that, like this pans out in a way that you want it to be. And also I expect that it scales up in a bigger span than you expected. So that it will be
yes, yes,
useful
yes.
for
Thank you.
others as well. And
Yes,
thanks a
yes.
lot for, inspiring
I
us.
actually want Yes, I actually have this. I have actually kept the prices also very minimum and close to the affordable prices, so that reaches out a maximum number of children, and then so that the utilization will be in a proper way,
Hmm.
and then the concept also reaches out to them. So we are also conducting awareness programs at school, so that so that I want the children
Hmm.
to learn young and put it in their minds from young minds itself, so that we have a more sustainable kind of an ecology in the coming days. So that's my plan, and we are working on it. And we also have made up a team of such people, of such like-minded people coming together and creating awareness among schools, and then creating awareness at public places, so that this reaches out to maximum number of children and then throughout the country.
That is like you have a built a very good plan, I can say, and also
Yes,
involving and creating awareness among younger generation, like visiting schools
yes,
and stuff. That is really cool. Why? Because if they
yes,
get to know these ideologies very soon, that's going to be, impactful, very eye impactful. So
yes,
yeah, and
yes.
kudos to your team and thanks for your time, Aparna. It was really nice
Thank you.
talking to you, and I got lots of insights. And I also want to say that I'm, exhilarated and energized by listening to your story. And
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
I
Yes,
hope that our audience is, they are also enjoyed and inspired by this story. I hope so.
yeah, yes, Yes, yes. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Thank you, thank you.
Thanks a lot, Aparna. This was about, in brief, about Eila Enterprises. So, if you want to know more about Eila Enterprises, please visit their website www.eilaecopencils.com. If you know any such stories of eco entrepreneurs, kindly do mail me at my mail ID poojarv@getsetgreen.in, or you can also connect with me on my Instagram handle getsetgreen.in. Until next episode, bye bye. 1 ton of recycled paper requires 1.2 tons of waste paper, whereas 1 ton of virgin paper requires 2.5 tons of wood. And the three mantras for sustainable life are reduce, reuse, and recycle.